everybody, how's it going? This is Darrin with GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. And today I want to show you a somewhat simplified acoustic rendition of Lights by Journey. So I've tried to kind of simplify this to make it just an easy kind of a strumming song, like you can play at a barbecue or go camping or something. But I still wanted to kind of keep some of the elements from the original in there because they're, kind of a staple in the sound of the song. So this is not an exact rendition of exactly how they're playing it. It's just an arrangement that should just be a little bit easier to play, especially if you're somewhat of a beginner, except for the very intro part that we'll talk about here in a second. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look. Alright, so first thing, let's just go over some of the chords that we're going to be using in this. We've got D. So my D string is open. I'm on the second fret of the G string with my first finger, third fret of the B string with my third finger, and second fret of the high E with my second finger. And then we have B minor 7, and there's actually two ways that we're going to be playing this. The way I'm going to show you right now is like what's used in like the verse and stuff. The B minor 7 that's in the intro is a different voicing, and we'll look at that in a second. So, unfortunately, it's a bar chord. We're barring the second fret, the first 5 strings with my first finger, and then I'm on the third fret of the B string with my second finger, and I'm on the fourth fret of the D string with my third finger. And then we have C. So, third fret of the A string with my third finger, second fret of the D string with my second finger, G string is open, first fret of the B string with my first finger, and the high E is open. We will be doing some other stuff like D suspended 2 and D suspended 4, so if we take the regular D major and you remove your second finger so that the high E is open, that's D suspended 2. And then if we put our pinky down on the third fret of the high E, then that's D suspended 4. So that's just like kind of a riff thing that we'll talk about. Okay, so for the intro, we're going to start off, we're going to be using our third finger, and we're going to do a slide from nowhere to the 9th fret of the A string. And simultaneously, we're going to drop our first finger down so it's barring at the 7th fret across the D, G, and B strings. So that chord, by the way, is, D over F sharp. And then we're going to do a slide from nowhere with our first finger to the 7th fret on the low E. And we're going to do a B minor 7. So this is the different B minor 7 voicing than what I was talking about earlier. So with this voicing, we're just going to bar all the way across the 7th fret, across all 6 strings, and then third finger onto the 9th fret of the A string. So we've got... So when I'm doing this here, and I lay this down, I'm sliding up on the A string, and then I'm going to the D, G, B, G, D. And now I'm doing the slide from nowhere on the low E. A, D, G, D, A. So that's like the first part of the intro. So we have the D over F sharp, the B minor 7, back to the D over F sharp, and now we're going to do an A major bar chord. So we're going to come down here and we're going to bar all the way across the 5th fret, across all 6 strings, second finger on the 6th fret of the G string, third finger on the 7th fret of the A string, and fourth finger onto the 7th fret of the D string. That's A. So you got and there I'm just going, E, A, back up to that B minor 7, same picking, and now we go to a C. So this is C bar chord. Now you could do the C like that, but it doesn't quite, I just don't like the way that one sounds as much for this. But if bar chords are like kicking your butt, and this one is going to be harder to play than these ones are, typically. So if you have trouble with that, you know, you can go ahead and use the open C. But what it is here is my third finger is barring the 5th fret of the D, G, and B string, and then I'm just picking up the C here on the 3rd fret of the A string. So you got the... And here I'm going A, D, G, B, G, D. And now we're going to go up here to the D, regular D. We're going to do D suspended 4. So you can put your pinky down. Then you take that off to D, and then take your middle finger off to D suspended 2, and put it back on for D. So it's... So that's the whole intro. And then that's where the verse starts and the vocals come in. Actually, it's not the verse, it's the chorus that starts out first. So we just did the... And then when the... So that's where the verse starts there, or the, excuse me, the chorus. And it actually starts off when the... And then you start that on the downbeat. So we got D. So again, the strumming on this, like I've kind of talked about this stuff before, you don't want to be tied down to like oh, I've got to do this exact strum pattern, because what it'll end up doing is if you make a mistake, it'll throw you off time, and sometimes it's really hard to come back. So it's really a thing you just kind of want to learn to feel it. So there's just, you know, the strum is shown there on the transcription, but you know, kind of use it more as like a guideline and just really trying to feel your way through it. If you've never tried to do this before, at first, for a lot of people, it's really difficult and it feels impossible. But you'll get it. I know you will. You just have to put a little bit of, you know, time into it. Just really try to get it, you know, so it's got that nice, smooth swing to it. So it starts off the chorus here with D. So I'm going down, up, down, down, down. To B minor 7, C. Now here we're going to use the regular open C. So 3rd fret of the A string with my 3rd finger, 2nd fret of the D string with my 2nd finger, G string is open, 1st fret of the B string with my 1st finger, and high E is open. So when we get to that C, we got... We're going to do that little hammer on to the 3rd fret of the B string. So it just kind of puts a little bit of a high melody in there. So you get the C. And then back to the 1. So when you put your pinky down there, don't remove your 1st finger. Leave it there on the 1st fret of the B string so you can go back to it. And then it just repeats. So it does that sequence, those 4 measures, 3 times. So you got the when the lights like that part we did on the intro. At the end of it, the chorus ends with that too. So we got the B minor 7, whoa, C, and again you could whoa, then you go to the D suspended 4, D suspended 2, back to D. So. When it goes into the verse parts, you know, so you think it's over. It's like the same thing as the chorus. Leads us into the bridge. So we start off with a B minor 7, G. I don't remember if we went over G at the beginning, so really quick. 3rd fret of the Louis with my 2nd finger, 2nd fret of the A string with my 1st finger. D and G strings are open, and I'm on the 3rd fret of the B string with my 3rd finger and the 3rd fret of the high E with my 4th finger. So you got the B minor 7, G, D, A, B minor 7, G, D. When we go, last part of that bridge, when it goes to the A, we're out from the D. So what it is, it's A. You're like 1 rest. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I mean, you don't want it to be like super staccato like that, but that's just the. Back to B minor 7, G, D, 2 measures of D. And then back to that same B minor 7, C. So that little riff kind of, it ends each section of the song. So at the first, I'm sitting there kind of, you know, like couldn't decide, is this the verses or the chorus? Well, they're actually the same thing. So there's just the 3 parts to the song. So we have the intro. And then we go into the chorus. So you think you're song, it does that twice. And that's it. That's all the parts to the song. Like I said, not an exact rendition of how they do it, but it's perfect for just like, you know, jamming and doing like a sing-along and stuff. something I really recommend you do is, like, learn these, and then what I like to do is I print off the lyrics, and then I just put the chords, where they appear above the lyrics, so that way I can kind of follow along vocally with my eyes, even if I'm not trying to sing. Because when you sing, it really kind of helps, like it's like your jaw and your strumming arm are kind of connected, and it just really kind of helps to get everything like nice and smoothed out. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that and you got something out of it. If you liked the video, please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this song or any other guitar related stuff that I can see maybe I can answer for you. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out any of the content that we upload throughout the week. Anyway, that is all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching and have a great day.